YouTube, I swear to God, if you don't kiss my ass, YouTube actually stopped my stream because it said it detected copyrighted content. YouTube just stopped my stream because they said they heard copyright. What the fuck? Man, if you don't shut the fuck up with that dumb shit, I'm gonna finish what the fuck I gotta say. Anyway, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by YouTube. At the end of the day, man, this is the type of shit like that is what really has me YouTube cut me off talking about they saw copyrighted they heard copyrighted content. How the fuck you hear all these motherfuckers that play this copyrighted content? What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, like I was fucking saying, man. Motherfuckers love it is such an easy thought. It is such a comforting thought that every nigga that these niggas on YouTube, they're just bitching about the fact they can't get pussy. There's nothing wrong. And this is a big reason why when shit hits the fan on shit, why motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, when motherfuckers want to talk about a lot of shit, this is why dudes get so hyper individualistic and why black people have almost an inability to actually work together. Because a lot of this shit is never dealt with. So it's this thing where, them niggas just can't get pussy. The end. They don't have value. They don't have this. And it never dawns on folks that other groups don't think this way. And at the end of the day, I told him before I got cut off. I said in the chat. I said in the fucking reply. I said, dude, you know, it's very easy to say fuck this shit, turn this shit off, and just do me. Deal with who? Because here's the thing. I already know what the game is, so I'm never gonna put myself in a position where I'm fucking under any chick. Because at the end of the day, you have to choose to engage in that. You have to choose to plug into that system. There is a choice on a fundamental level, and people don't like to acknowledge that because. And I'm talking about dudes. Dudes have to acknowledge that whether they did it because they don't know or whatever, they have to acknowledge that. So at the end of the day, man, it's easy for me to say fuck this shit. I don't deal with this shit. Bitches be stupid. You need to just do what you need to do to get the outcomes you want to get out of them, and that's it. And leave it alone. It's very easy to do that. But at the end of the day, this is a big reason why the black community is not a competitive community. This is why culture matters, and this is the culture. And even with a dude, like because I have no reason to believe, he looks like he's on this shit. Even a dude is on this shit. A dude that technically should be one. I'm not talking about leading people or stuff like that, but should be somebody of influence, right? At the end of the day, he's pretty much operating like a mercenary. That's it. He's which from a community standpoint is has no value. Seriously, and I'm not trying to act like what I'm doing is so community alignment, but at the end of the day, and this is what a lot of dudes like. The people, people that's come at me recently. A lot of these niggas, these are mercenary niggas, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, when folks wonder why as a collect, when people say we don't have a community, and when people say that the community, this is what they mean. Like when BGS says the community's done, this is the shit that he means. And what you have is people that they're hoping against hope, or they are not. They are. They just decide that they're just gonna say fuck it, and they're just gonna pretend that the shit that they know. It's almost like being on Titanic and then playing when you was on the Titanic. Well, if motherfuckers on the Titanic and they said we're gonna play this music because we're just gonna accept it. We're just gonna play this music and do. It's literally what motherfuckers are doing. So man, when people talk about men of value don't just men, the reality of the situation is men of just, just because most men of value don't speak to the shit does not mean the shit doesn't need to be spoken to. Because what people don't understand, this is what dudes do not understand. A big reason why black men are murdered, A big reason why, as a black man, you can be killed. And it doesn't fucking matter how much you grow your mind, how much you grow your economics or your money. At the end of the day, Bill Cosby, that was true. You can get fucked up. Like, let's cut the bullshit. That shit can happen to anybody. And the reality is, and we've had, people want to talk about George Floyd. What about the dude that was trying to do some shit on COVID? There was an EMT that they like. Like, it's been like doctors that have been fucking hemmed up by the police. Maybe not killed, but they almost got him the fuck up. And these are dudes that had their mind right, their money right, and their goddamn body right, and they were actually trying to do the right thing. And what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to challenge this person to do anything else or anything. I don't give a shit. I understand his opinion. But what I'm saying is that, as we're not even talking about the community as a whole. I'm talking about black men in particular. You have way too many black men that make assumptions about motherfuckers. That assume that like dudes are just out here. Most black men, remember, black men are willing to fuck fat bitches more than any other group. Black men are not out here crying about not being able to get the type of pussy they want. They really are not. And that's just some shit that really just creates an excuse. And to be fair, he was talking about exposing men and women. But even when I go back through the video and oh, yeah, got super chat. No, nothing happened. Go look through the comments. Nothing happened. What's up, Book of Rhymes? Appreciate that. But you go, and anyway, I'm gonna spin off of him because I'm gonna be monitoring comments. But you go and you go on shit like that, and you hear the shit that you hear, this shit that is completely devoid of like common sense, completely devoid of any kind of serious thought. And dudes like to say women are women. Well, at the end of the day, if you're thinking like a mercenary, if you're thinking like somebody was like, look, I just gotta make sure I do me, and then I get my family right, my immediate family right, and fuck everybody else. Well, there's too many black men, there's too many black people on that shit. And at the end of the day, where it's really fucking up black men is black men are not even working together to gain power. See, Ramil was talking about this shit too. And this is why when I have conversations with Ramil about black men getting power or their lack thereof, this is he be acting like low key why he don't understand why they don't do it. This is why they don't do it. Because black men don't know how to turn off the individualism and turn on and plug into a collective at all. They don't know how to like it's almost like an IQ shit to a certain extent. They legit don't know how to do it. It's like they can't walk and chew gum. And they really can't. And black men will sit here and buy into this extraordinary self-improvement. What other groups believe in? Other groups believe in doing best so you can network with other folks that are like-minded as far as in their culture group. And I'm not even talking about big nations of people. I'm talking about even if it's like 1,500,000, like a whole group of people. They believe in collective power as well as individual power because they believe a rising tide raises all ships. And they do not believe that, even though they believe that, if you want the power of the people, then you need to invest in those people. They also don't believe at the same time that folks are supposed to be looking for fucking handouts either. And black people don't understand that. And I'm talking about black men in particular. They really don't. And it really comes up in how they interact with women. It really comes up, even dudes, here's the thing. Dudes really believe, oh, well, I'm getting pussy. So, like, dudes, I said this one time before. I said, if you remove every dude that doesn't have children and you just focus on the dudes that get pussy, so therefore, you cannot use the excuse of you have not gotten pussy and that's why you mad. Would the black community be a better community? And the answer would be no. These women will still be what they are. And people want to say, well, you talk about I'm talking about the collective. And anybody's arguing that, like the reality of the situation is that conversation shouldn't have been an argument. You know what that conversation should have been? And I said this in the pre-show. That conversation should have been a conversation about how to rehabilitate the black female reputation. That conversation should not have been about a 50-year-old and 40-year-old. Is a 50-year-old just as valuable as a 40-year-old, which is just as valuable as a 30-year-old? That is retarded. A 50, we should not have had conversations about how the United States, a big reason why black women don't leave a certain type of group and environment is because they can't get the same shit anywhere else. They can't get away with the same shit anywhere else. And they value that over the supposed security they always like to talk about. You had Brandy talking about, what black men are not financially doing. Well, if I would have been on there when she would have said that, I would say, well, Brandy, if okay, let me give you what you're saying. You're 100% right. So can you please explain to me why black women are sexually satisfying black men that are broke? Can you explain that to me? Why are black women, once they get to 21, 22 years old, having sex with black men that make less or are on a less trajectory? Explain that to me. Because all these babies that you keep talking about are getting made are clearly all these niggas don't got money because these women are not getting child support like that. So where is this decision? Why how are these dudes getting sexual access? I don't understand that. And so these are conversations, and these are conversations, and the thing about it is you can't ever depend on a female to actually direct the conversation in a way that's going to actually be productive. Because at the end of the day, they come there with an agenda. Here's the thing: it's not even that. The thing about it is they came in there not even expecting to be challenged on anything. They actually believe everything they're saying is correct. And I'm going to keep it to be perfectly honest. I would never I would rarely engage in that type of bullshit in real life. I just don't. And the truth is, most men don't. Some men fall into this YouTube shit one way or the other. And then what they like to do is probe the general public. And that's what I was doing to see what was going on. And you have to understand too, when we're having these conversations, we're also having these conversations for an audience. We're not having these conversations because I emotionally need to be validated by a bitch. I've never tried to holler at any of these females on YouTube. I have a vlog. I do this vlog by myself, by and large, with only a couple of few times, maybe like 10%, like 20% of my vlogs are me just dumping my thoughts. And you've heard me talk about a variety of topics. So this idea, I was just on Master Teacher One talk about credit. So this idea that only niggas that talk about this shit, they must have a pussy problem. This is some shit. It annoys me because black men don't see the bigger picture when they see that. Fuck the bitches. But black men are not gonna look at collective power because they're like, man, I'm good. And by the way, this was Bill Cosby kind of had it right, but Bill Cosby fucked up because Bill Cosby bought into his own hype and he started fucking with the wrong motherfuckers. Bill Cosby uplifted a lot of females, and those females turned on him. So, the reason why this shit is important is because if you've charged the black community the game, then this won't be important. It won't be important because you've charged the black community game and you decided you're going to live your best life. And I don't have a problem with that. And I'm not trying to act like I'm morally better than anybody. That's what they choose to do. And this is what I'm looking to do. At the same time, though, the value of what I put out in this space is you have younger folks. My brother's 23. You have younger folks, my youngest brother, and you have folks that come into this, and then when they hear me talk, they hear the arguments I'm presenting, and they hear how the number one, they for the most part hear that these females don't really have an answer for any shit that I'm talking about, because at the end of the day, what I'm saying is common sense. This is not some I need you to like me bullshit. This is common sense. There is nothing in there that had anything. We didn't even get to the real arguments. And even and one dude said on DJ Cooper's panel, "Oh, did the females really feeling Ramil?" I believe that, and because the thing about it, and Ramil even said it. He said, "I know what the fuck y'all saying this bullshit. I know that behind the scenes, and shit, that was low key what I said the last time I was on there." Because at the end, and what women are not understanding is dudes don't even look at you like an actual person. Dudes objectify you because you act like a goddamn object. You all are not even acting like somebody that should be respected as actually individual. You're not. because you're basically operating like a child. And then you get upset when people mess with you and discard you. I ain't gonna say like a child, but they're not committing to you. Now, one of the things he said was, he said the world is your oyster. He's absolutely right. And the thing is, you don't ever hear dudes arguing self improvement. And see, here's the thing: for the most part, even if you don't argue with black women, that does not mean that black women are not gonna do things to try to harm you. Here's another thing a lot of dudes don't really get: black women are the chief character witness of black men. That mentality of what high value men do is the reason why we got here. The truth is, black men have this mentality where they think that being stoic is virtuous. They think they're better men because they don't argue with. It's not even about arguing with women. What you do is, what women dudes do is they seed ground. And so now other generations, and this is not an older dude, but other generations have to pick the fuck up what the last generation didn't do. This shit should have been checked. And there's reasons it wasn't, other than these niggas failed. And I understand that. And I'm not gonna act like I don't. Crack era came, a lot of shit came. I get that. And the generation before that will have their excuse. And just like how we're gonna have our excuse about the economy and black men being homeless and black men going through a lot of shit. But at some point, either we don't want either people need to just say fuck it, which is why SYSBM is growing exponentially, or or whatever. This is, I mean, think about it. These millennials are already saying fuck it. They really are. And you know, these women don't give a fuck about that because they're thinking now. And trust me, when they get older, when they get like their mid 40s and shit, they're gonna start lying to these females, talk about these niggas will always color. It's never gonna be their fault. And so you can't even look at it. So anyway, what's up, Free? Like I said, thank you for anything, boo. Nothing really happened. I'm just trying to comment over there. Ebony Brown. Well, you know, yeah, and yeah, she is, and I think Brand. I mean, you know, Ramil has his opinions about Brandy, saying I do believe. I'm not gonna lie, I do believe Brandy still fucks with black men, because there's no fucking way she would still have that. If I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not trying to be mean, and Brandy will take this the wrong way if she hears it. I get it. You can be mad, but I can tell Brandy doesn't just fuck with white men, because there's no way she would still have that kind of waste that she has fucking with only white men. I've seen women, like even in white women, I could tell, you can tell white women that fuck with. I've literally seen white women change their body type based on the men that they're fucking. I've seen them get a little bit, when I say chunkier, they got a little bit of thigh, a little bit of ass, and then I've seen them literally lose it. I've seen that shit. I've seen that shit a couple of times. So I promise you, she was only fucking white men. And plus, you gotta remember, she's in Atlanta, from what I understand. So I don't. Her opinion is valid, because at the end of the day, you know, you gotta remember, she's in the ear of a lot of black females just talk about struggle love. Well, you're struggle love because you're with a white man, and this is where, you know, I'll give it to Chrissy and Paris. They have gone after Swirlers for basically lying, because, you know, Swirlers been getting broke up. Have been, their dudes have been leaving them, and so anyway. But going back to it, um, you know, people kill me with that struggle love shit. Like, I'm like, struggle love. Who the fuck told you to engage in struggle love? Why do you think you act like somebody assigned you a struggle love contract? You choose that shit every day you're in it. But what, see, they don't want to be honest about is women will weigh being alone versus being in a relationship. And that struggle love relationship is probably better than them being single, or they probably ain't found a dude they can replace that nigga with. And it ain't about money. It ain't about money. And that's where the lies come in. These women are low key simping. When you're just like how a dude invests his time and everything else into a female, you want the bargain basement shop. These women are doing that when they're buying niggas. You're basically buying dudes like a gigolo. And dudes don't give a fuck about that because at the end of the day, they still getting sexual access. This is where BGS said that if a dude is fucking and getting something for free and not getting nothing in return, he's a fucking fool. A lot of these dudes are getting room and board in return. This is why these women want to level up out of the they want to talk about dudes need to pay for everything because they dealt with dudes that maybe they're getting some decent sex, maybe not even great sex, but maybe the best sex they could be getting, maybe the best sex combination of looks, but at the end of the day they're not getting money, they're not getting taken care of. And see, really all that taken care of bullshit is them comparing to what they perceive white women are getting. They have a perception of what white women are giving or what Latin women or like light skinned women are getting when it comes to these hyper stimulated situations that's not real. And they're talking to you like you owe them some kind of Kim Kardashian fantasy, as if that's what they're living. They will talk to you about six-figure niggas like they're actually getting six-figure niggas and I'm like, you may have proximity to these guys, but you some of you all may even be fucking these guys. And let's be clear here. I can debate to you how many of these women fucking these guys. But the reality of the situation is you're selling something that's not real. And at the end of the day, this shit is important, not because it's just some bitch talking and I'm giving weight to a bitch, but you have to remember that this is the conveyor belt of how the community, or how the community is actually formed. And nobody's paying attention to the just absolute slide of everything. And I can tell you, dude, you have no fucking idea how easy it would be for me to turn this shit off, for me to say fuck it. I'm gonna focus on my cooking shit. I'm gonna focus on my internet marketing shit. Like I mean, refocus on it. Like I'm already focused on it. I'm gonna be fucking like building my teams and just live my life. Not even grinding. Like I like just on my time freedom intact. And then I pop in here, I pop on streams every once in a while. But at the end of the day, oh, I'm not worried about it. Why? Because, the black, quote unquote, black pill in me already knows the black community is done. I already know it's done. I already know that, and that's the one negative thing about going as deep in this red pill shit as you go, is you really start to understand, oh, these people don't want to change. They don't. This is why I got into it with dude over education. It's not, they don't want to know. It's not about education. Like SWP used to say, they just don't want to do it. They want to do their happy shit, their sheep shit, and then they want to, cry about the shit later and then expect somebody to be paying the fuck attention. And this is, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. This is why motherfuckers start cooning. This is why you get your Anthony Brian Logans. This is why you get your Candace Owens. This is why you get your Brandon Tatums. This is why you get your Jesse Lee Petersons. This is why you get your Derek Jacksons. This is why you get your Farrah Grays. This is why you get your pastors. You get them because you start to realize these motherfuckers want to be pimped. Shout out to Ramil. They want to be played. They want to be pumped and dumped. This is what they want. Now they're going to tell you it doesn't matter what they say. You have to look at what they do. And what they do speaks volumes. And when people say men of value, the reality is a man of value, one thing they don't allow is they don't allow other people to dictate the terms by which how they will engage. Meaning if a dude is not going to explain another dude the dynamics by which he may go to the Dominican Republic. He may have a chick already there. He may trick a little bit. He may fuck with some chicks. He may create a business situation. A dude's not going to allow, because number one, it's none of their business anyway. And number two, a dude is not necessarily going to divulge that. You see, there's something to be said about having these conversations and being transparent. And the reality is, What people don't understand is when we come on here and we have these conversations, if we don't have these conversations don't get had. And that's something that people don't think about. See, people like to look at this from a perspective of, oh, you're just crying because you can't get something. Understand something. Kevin Samuels does not have to have a channel teaching nobody shit. BGS Igmore doesn't have to have a channel teaching nobody shit. Glendon Cameron does not have to have a channel teaching, disrupt. People do not have to have these channels. Like DJ Kuda, all these folks that put hours and hours, motherfuckers have other shit to do. Like shit, look, shit, motherfuckers have other shit to do, you know? And I'm not asking for shit. I'm not asking for a cookie. I'm not asking for nothing. But what I'm saying is, you do it because it needs to be done. And at the end of the day, unless black men are just gonna get butt fucked and not even really know why. Because understand something, this shit at this level is never is rarely told. And most of the dudes that they understand this shit, they're not really looking to tell other people. What they're looking to do is put themselves in the best possible position to get the most pussy they can get. Which, hey, I'm not mad at. But at the end of the day, the collective is still on some goofy shit. And then you got niggas walking around here guilty because they're guilty because they don't understand the dynamics of what they were fed. And it really kills me, man, because when people just charge all that to some, oh, well, men of value don't say shit. Men of value just do. Dude, it really completely underestimates what the fuck dudes are really out here doing. It really does. I mean, look at the two things Master Teacher did. Obviously, he did, he has his reasons for doing it, but at the same time, there's dudes that's come to his panel that will otherwise not come to his panel. There's networking opportunities and stuff that's happened that otherwise might not happen. There are dudes that are really seeing not women in red pill, but they're actually hearing like a lot of women in real time respond to a lot of how a lot of these dudes are saying that otherwise would never hear that because they're not listening to other people's channels like that. So we're coming back to the basic thing about men, like the shit the shit that was being said. It's like when you really go back and listen to it, it doesn't make fucking sense. And at the end of the day, what it shows is black women have been allowed to basically, from a relationship standpoint, they have a damn near zero IQ. And you very well see why their outcomes are their outcomes. Now I was on DJ's Kuda shit a little bit ago before I opened this up, and I had to listen to April Mason. I haven't listened to April Mason in a minute, and I listened to April Mason, and I swear to God, she literally did a cuck manifesto. That's pretty much what that is. What she did was a black male cuck manifesto. And when I listen, this woman's about to turn 45 years old in like a less than a week. And when you actually listen to what she said, and shout out to y'all on Telegram because y'all put that in Telegram, and I've been listening to April Mason in a minute. You really understand. Oh, it's over because this is a woman that's actually teaching other women about femininity. And if you are that like beyond the pale, with this and it's stuff, it wasn't she was talking crazy, but you have to listen to what the fuck she was actually saying. She was literally talking about women should just value submissive men. And it's like it never dawns on you. It never like, but man, shit was crazy. That shit was crazy as hell. Anyway, yeah. Alpha dude, understand something. I started a live. Did you inspire me to start a live? Absolutely. But understand that I had to hear that bullshit too. I had to hear that April. Oh, dude, I'm gonna tell you this. You want to talk about what a man of value does? You take your ass and go to April Mason's thing and listen to that bullshit that I had to listen to, and you'll want to start a damn stream too. So yes, you're a small little part of what I wanted to start this stream on. But there was some shit other than that master teacher shit I had to fucking listen to today. So you're not the only one. You know, I started stream up because of anybody. So whatever, it's a comment. Don't gas yourself up. Sound like a C Boogie acolyte. And I'm not even really throwing you under the bus either. Like real talk. But what I am saying, since you're here, keep talking about you a phone call away, nigga. I don't need. Well, I need to have a phone call with you for. I'm not in the trucking industry, but since you're here, again, there's a reason. Like shout out to Dennis Sperling, man of value, buying property. Most dudes are not going to get to YouTube and declare shit because most dudes are not out here trying to debate females. They're just trying to live their lives. But at the same time, people make it sound like dudes that are doing streams talking about this shit, they're not doing other shit. They're not buying property, or they're not doing this, or they're not doing this, or they haven't gone overseas, or they're just fucking just talking shit. And that is a complete mischaracterization of what the shit is. So when you say men of value, first of all, you wouldn't even know this space existed. This space is that small. This is not a large space. It's really not. And that's why, I always am very clear on correcting like SYSBM dudes when they want to talk. I mean, there's motherfuckers that are married. I mean, this is like people kill me. But this is why I was like to correct people when they try to act like the space is like really fucking big. They want to, oh, well, manosphere. No, no. This space is very small. Yes, I do have a passport. It's downstairs. My passport can't do shit right now, so. But what I will say, man, is and I'm gonna keep it real with you, Alpha Trucker, on some real shit. The type of shit that you was talking, in that comment is a big reason why black men don't generally give a fuck when other black men get mowed down by the fucking police. And that may sound fucked up, but that's real fucking talk. Because a lot of black men are on some ultra individualistic shit, and then a lot of niggas are on some you do you, I do me type shit. And the big thing about what you said is, first of all, let's keep it real. For the most part, black men of value don't work together. Let's keep that all the way real. Black men of value do not operate in a single collective. You can't show me you can't show me, and fuck them fraternities. Have them motherfuckers are gay as hell anyway, so they can kiss my ass with that shit. But for the most part, you want to look at black men of value as a collective. You can't show me a force of black men of quote unquote value. Niggas are operating like individual mercenaries. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much value you think you are. If you go up against another group, then another group will fucking break your ass in half, no matter what the fuck you think, or they'll run you out of Dodge. Because at the end of the day, true power is collective power. And other groups understand that. And that's just real fucking talk. Of course, you can live like anybody. You gotta remember, it doesn't take a lot to live your life and be individualistic, or and that's fine, and be individualistic, or fucking you know, keep your head down, except when it comes to bitches. But understand something. You take a bitch from a white man, you get on the radar of somebody, trust and believe. They don't pull punches. They come at you with everything. That's why when I hear a lot of business dudes or a lot of dudes talk that bullshit about racism, I'm like, have you ever took some? I ain't talking about you. I'm talking in general. Have you ever took some shit from a white man, some shit that a white man coveted? Do that, and then you tell me about what the fuck it really is. Cause they not, it ain't gonna be just them. They gonna group your ass up. And at the end of the day, you don't have black men for the most. There's a couple of examples, but for the most part, black men get on this hyper individual shit, and then they wonder later on like why motherfuckers don't work together. I don't like. I'm not a braggadocious nigga. And I'm not saying. I mean, it was just a comment, But what I'm saying is, it just speaks to a certain mentality that I've seen in the manosphere. This kind of, well, why don't you just shut the fuck up mentality? And what kills me is nobody's really asking motherfuckers to really, nobody asked anybody. You knew what the title was, right? So nobody asked anyone to listen to it. You know, I just did a video the other day about credit with Master Teacher. You know, I love talking about other shit, talk about business shit, talk about network shit. I can talk about that. I actually am far more passionate about talking about that. I don't give a fuck about what these bitches do. And to be honest with you, the way I perceive this commentary that I even have, is really social political. Because at the end of the day, black people operate as a block and we don't work as a block because we're not on the same page. We're not on the same page because we have two different agendas. And until we get that right, then nothing, reparation, nothing's gonna happen. Well, I mean, honestly, Kevin Samuels can do what Kevin Samuels does. It is what it is. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't. And you got to remember, he's like 50 years old. So a lot of the shit he's going to say is going to be kind of the similar shit that BGS is going to say, throwing down millennials and Zs. And you know, he has a right to do that. He has a right to do that. But at the end of the day, you know, people are going to do what's in their best interest. That's the only law that you can really trust and understand. And so, you know, understand something. In my real life, you will not hear me talk about what bitches are doing. Really, I front load a lot of that shit on YouTube. Because if a female does something I don't like, that bitch is not gonna be a white, black. And I have a much more higher tolerance for black female fuckery than I do other female fuckery. So a woman's just not gonna be around me because I can choose not to be around them. And this is a big reason why I tell black men, you know, if you are in here, you are frustrated, you know, you don't have to deal. I'm not even saying I deal with black, but you need to diversify who you're dealing with. You need to put the power in your hands and stop putting the power in other people's hands. Well, yeah, and I appreciate that, Manny. Fantastic. And you saw how passionate I was about that. It wasn't me like act like I did not want to talk about it, and that was credit. I don't get notified with all my streams either. No, they're not, Elaine. And the thing about it is, black men have that. I mean, and that's the thing. The chick, when the chicks ain't got nothing to say, that's some shit they always want to say. And even our women understand collective power more than we do. That says a lot. No, Q James, you're absolutely right. He says it's hard to work together. We have certain motherfuckers take advantage of you. The reason, one of the reasons why that is, although there's others, is I call it the Highlander syndrome, where niggas have to have all the pussy. You know, and one thing I've observed with most other groups of men is they understand that to remove the sexual component from it. They understand that you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to get. I ain't saying getting everybody bitches, but the motherfuckers that contribute, you're going to have to deal with that because that's a part of male biology. That test, and you have to deal. You have to, you know, you have to do that. Otherwise, other groups understand it. This is why other groups don't necessarily go against tricking like black men do, because they understand that's a need that's going to have to be filled. Other to get dudes really focused on what the things that needs to be focused on in hand, other than using like hyper religion or why do you think the Arabs? And I'm not obviously it sounds like I'm stereotyping, but why do you think Arabs are always talking about you know virgins if you die and shit like that? I didn't hear that. And you gotta remember, Obsidian's 52 as well. I didn't hear that. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of dudes, you know, I mean, I didn't really honestly, man. Talking Clan Kill, I didn't get a chance to go. I didn't really get a chance to go in. The reason why I went off the gate like that is because I knew I was gonna get like sidelined. I knew that, but I was cool with that. See, that's part of why I got Jessica X on there because I knew. I said, okay, at least it was. That's part of why I did that. And that's part of why I wanted Ramil to come up there. Because because I already knew that shit would be handled. But and I didn't intend to go off. I said in the whole pre-show, I didn't intend to go off. But the shit that they were sharing was just beyond the fucking pale. And the reality is, Roger's got a woman that I pissed her off, and then we got cool. That if she went up there, so Jessica X is not a one off. There's other women I could put up there that will take that heat and put it on them. Won't even be like behind the scenes like Jessica X, and then they will be just as mad because at the end, just as mad. They were actually there's women that would check them harder than what Jessica X did. I mean, I don't think it's affected the quote unquote genetic capacity because you have to remember what happened leading up to Black Wall Street. Smart black men were killed, strong black men were bred, yet there was still a Black Wall Street. So, I mean, I don't buy into that. Well, Anthony, people call about I hate that frame annoys me. Here's the reality. Here's a reality situation. When it comes to dealing with women, it's actually not complicated. Dealing with women, and BGS says this: dealing with women is like dealing with telecells. You as a man, your responsibility is to accept the choice she gives and move on, or move accordingly. And eventually you'll find your niche. A lot of these dudes that do well with women, they do well with niches of women. And so what it is they found their niche and they did the work to do that, or they may have stumbled upon it. So at the end of the day, your job is to put a woman in a position where she has to give you an up and down vote. And then basically accept the choice she gives. That's it. And here's the thing: the more you deal with women, the more you'll find the type of women that gravitate towards you. Obviously, now people will say, "Oh, well, American women are bad." I get all that, but at the end of the day, even in a bad environment, you learn how to. It's kind of like the Book of Eli. Even in the apocalyptic environment, you still learn to deal with this. Now, Alfred Trucker was talking about, well, if you improve, do all this. Let me tell you something. You should not. I'm gonna say this straight up. I'm not talking about a woman fucking you. I'm not talking about a woman sucking your dick. You should not have to be a superhero nigga to get basic respect from a female. And when I say respect, a female should not be treating you like the bottom of her fucking shoe. And I'm not even talking about if you trying to approach her. You got women that will fuck. Angry Man has said this. You've got women that'll have an attitude in the fucking drive-through. That ain't got nothing to do with you trying to fuck a bitch. You've seen it in the cash register. So this idea, and I'm not saying he was saying that, but a lot of dudes speak to that. This idea that you gotta be a superhero nigga just to get basic blue. That's the one reason why they were getting on my fucking nerves when they were trying to talk about, well, if you come in me right. Cause I'm like, no, 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 no. There's a lot of females that they have it, and I'm not even talking like the thing about it is it would not be a stereotype if there was not some truth to it. And the reality of the situation is, this is a big reason why most men don't even engage in with black women on this shit because they're just gonna be in perpetual denial. And I'm gonna tell you, that shit is fucking annoying as fuck. And it's kind of like, and this is why for the most part, I don't really bring this shit up in real. This is why I tell. What do you think I told you niggas? I told you niggas don't try to explain this shit to these bitches in real life because they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and they're gonna just fight you on that. And this is why when motherfuckers get like alpha male strategies, they want to get upset. Well, I mean, I get you all want to bring up Kevin Samuels. Could you imagine Kevin Samuels going up there? I mean, what would they say to a guy that is at that level? Could you imagine a Glendon Cameron going up there? What would you imagine a guy? You know, Glendon Cameron doesn't date black women like that. He said that a couple of times. He says he's just not culturally compatible with them, and he's 50 years old. You got to really think about that for a second. You really think, Kevin, you didn't Dennis Sperling? Y'all put me on Raw and Filter. You really think Dennis Sperling is gonna put up with that shit? You know, Alpha Trucker is right on that sense. They're not even gonna bother, and most dudes, quote unquote, of value don't, because what's the point? You see, the point of me doing what I do is not to convince women to change. It's really just, you know, my little way of kind of promoting what the fuck is really going on. And that's what people don't really understand. It is what it is. I mean, I appreciate y'all because I do see that a lot of y'all do look at my streams. And that's why I'm definitely wanting to diversify the content a little bit. No, they don't get sexually rewarded, and that's why. Another thing is, well, why is there so many professional black? Is it there is not that, like, let's keep it real. Black women are more gainfully employed. Really, it's a tactic of chaos. A big reason why black women are gainfully employed is not because of accomplishment, but because of their double minority. Like, there's a lot of caveats to a lot of shit that they say, and this is why real talk. And I'm telling you, niggas, you need to start doing this. Y'all need to just start telling them to date white men. Like, I'm serious. I would love for a solid number of black men to just say, just date white men. Like, stop, cut the bullshit, cut the excuses, and because at that point you're putting the ball really in their court, and now they gotta own their shit. That's if you notice that cuts through a lot of that shit. Just go get you a white man. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Where the fuck, why isn't it that Brandy, where's the white boy that Brandy can go to that would do what fucking MT did? Where's the white guy? Since she got a diverse group of friends. Where are those motherfuckers at? They ain't helping her. She come to the black side. Think about that shit. That's why my girl said this. Understand something. I can peep that friendship all day, every day. I've seen it before. I have pickup artist books. And I'm gonna tell you something. One of the things that they fuck up on is our gay game was my favorite. Fuck that going in a club where they're hyper. No, fuck that. Yeah, I'm not. Nothing I do is for the purpose of changing black women. It's for the purpose. It's kind of like nothing. Morpheus didn't try to change the Matrix. Morpheus just showed you what the fuck it was. Like I said, dick currency. And that's what it is. And to be fair, the Alpha Trucker, if you want to get black women, being a good, like, come on, man, let's keep it real. Like, fuck the bullshit. Being a good dude and really getting your mind right doesn't even matter. Like, doesn't even matter. Like, the only thing that matters is you hitting that fucking gym, you getting on that diet plan. I mean, we know what the fuck you need. If you really want to just fuck bitches, then the question is, are you willing to do that? But and I'm talking about, like, get a tattoo here or there, but no, you do that. Just hit the fucking gym. Hit the fucking gym, dude. Get on your keto. You know what time it is. Like, don't know, like, being, come on, we come on, man. SWP has been around over 10 years. You don't need to be a good dude. This look, all you need to really listen to SWP and Alpha Male Strategies. Right now, listen to Ramil. Substitute Alpha Male Strategies for really Alpha Male Strategies, Ramil. I would go in Glendon Cameron. And that's it. At the end of the, yeah. And you have to accept them as they are. And what a lot of dudes struggle with is a lot of dudes struggle with the reality of that. And some dudes never get over that. And see the problem. See, here's the problem. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do this damn video, especially in regards to Alpha Male Trucker or Alpha Trucker. Especially when you look at his name, Alpha Trucker. And to be fair, he's listening to me. It is what it is. I mean, I'm gonna say what the fuck I'm gonna say. Hey, man, nigga, you could call me. Nigga, no. Um, I only call dudes when I'm doing business or I'm about to hang out. And those are dudes that I fuck with. But his sense of what it is to be out, when you look at alpha, the problem with too many black men is they have this sense of being alpha. Like, understand that you come from a broken fucking culture. So just because, so you were looking at female desirability as a GPS signal for what it is to be alpha. So at the end of the day, all that mental shit, all that body shit, that shit wouldn't, all that money shit, that shit wouldn't mean shit if bitches weren't trying to fuck you. So at the end of the day, you know, and this shit matters because you can't lead motherfuckers that you're trying to low key, be desired by in that sense. So what I really want to communicate in that statement is, when folks sit here and they say, oh well, you don't have your problems with women, but and we're talking about particularly black women, well, you're therefore letting them to dictate the terms by which the community thrives based on them using pussy as a bait. And now you then begin to understand why the black community is what it is. No other group does that shit. Yeah, they did pull stats from their asses. Brandy is she puts a Brandy. Okay, this is the thing that annoyed me about Brandy. And it's Brandy tries to talk as if dudes are coming on there being counseled about not having. The way she tries to talk is like everybody on there ain't getting pussy. And so these dudes would not be there if, like, so we're asking her, well, why are black women mean to us? And then what she wants to say is, if black women aren't mean to you, then why are you on this panel? So we're supposed to go with the lie that black women are not mean to you if black women are not mean to you personally. And that's not me saying, okay, I'm not homeless, so why the fuck are you advocating for homeless black men? Your brother ain't been shot, so why you marching for George Floyd? So Brandy, she has this posture, and that's some shit that makes you want to knock her down a fucking peg. She has this posture like, oh, okay. I'm like, bitch, you trying to explain? Are you serious? You actually trying to explain some shit like you smarter than me, like, and you really believe you're smarter than me. And I'm like, understand something. And I'm not trying to jump on her with subscribers and shit, but let's keep it real. The fact that you even trying to build a YouTube channel tells me what type of motherfuckers you able to fuck with and shit like that. You can infer a lot of shit. So when she comes in with that damn posture, like she knows, like she got the answers, and I'm like, motherfuckers, ain't nobody even. Oh well, and then in the basics, she ain't even saying no real insightful shit. Oh well, maybe okay, and black men okay, and I'm like you act like ain't nobody never heard a swirler before sounding like she sounds with that white wanting to sound white. And yes, you do try to sound white to inflect your voice for a white dude. You know what time it is. Damn, somebody else hit me on super chat. I didn't even see that shit. Oh, appreciate that. Um, Asui 76. Man, come on, man. You really gonna make me work for that? I mean, they're gonna get mad. Like, first of okay, let's keep it real. When I really break, like Nicole, like understand something. Nicole is gonna be a chick that's gonna be bitching about colorism. She's gonna be one of those. That's because that's gonna be, at the end of the day, man. You know, I mean, and I'm glad Janae wasn't on there because I didn't, I wanted you to really hear what the fuck these other motherfuckers had to say. Because another thing is Nancy had a bad habit of Nancy is not ADOS, so she's talking from a perspective of ADOS. ADOS. Well, that's what that is. She's not ADOS, but she's trying to speak for ADOS women from like this foreign bullshit. And I'm like, look, Nancy, I understand that you wanna be in solidarity with other black women in America. I understand that. And so you do what other foreign women try to do when they get over here is you see the power base and you see the power games and you see it's a gynocracy. So you try to throw other black men under the fucking bus doing that. I get that. But whatever. Well, yeah, you can tell she's used to not being challenged because she thinks the shit she was saying, she thought she was significant, and it wasn't significant. Like she wants to say you don't know what a fact is, but this is a chick that's arguing with me, trying to tell me that a 40-year-old is gonna have more sexual options than a 30-year-old, and vice versa. She was like it depends. I'm like no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's like me saying that the average male that is 6 foot is going to have more dating options than an average male that is like 5'8" or 5'9" or even 5'10". Oh, it depends. Of course, there's exceptions to everything. Yeah, Roger, shout out to Roger Poor. I accept them as who they are. It makes life easier and it keeps you sane when you expose it. No, it absolutely does. And that's why, it does. It does, man. And see, what a lot of people don't understand is black men don't, most black men, especially on YouTube like this, we're not out here engaging with these chicks in real life like that. Like I like to act like that. I would never deal with that. The whole alpha thing is gross. It is grossly misunderstood. Brandy said white boys like her with natural hair and brothers like her with straight hair. Notice her hair tonight. You know what she has to understand. There's a reason why white boys like her with natural hair, and the type of dudes that want her with straight hair, um, those are dudes can afford to tell her what the fuck she wants. See, she makes it sound like all dudes like that. That's not true. She's going after particularly types of dudes, and that's what she doesn't want to say. Everything Brandy says is a half truth. And see what Brandon needs to understand about that is that shit will work on a lot of dudes, but a lot of dudes that peep game, a lot of dudes that are at her. When I say past her sexual marketplace level, they can get chicks that look like her. Brandy is not an ugly chick, but at the same time, Brandy, like I've dated chicks that look just as good as her. I've dated chicks that look better than her. I've dated chicks. I like that. So Brandy's not the type of female that like I would lose my frame for. Like I'm talking about inside. Like oh my god, I got butterflies in my stomach. I wouldn't get that, and not because Brandy is not attractive, but because I've seen other attractive dark skinned females. There's nothing about her that is, and this is not trying to throw her under the bus, but she has this mentality where like she thinks her values amplified because a white boy will fuck with her. And I'd be real curious to see the white boys that she fucks with. I really would. Yeah, and that's what annoys me about him. That's why me and him butt heads. That's why me and him butt fucking heads. And I call that a braggadocious syndrome. You got braggadocious niggas that they love to add their little basic ass input. Well, nigga, if you just self improve. Well, motherfucker, guess what? Nobody's talking. You ain't never heard a dude argue against self improvement. When have you heard that argument? And when you hear that argument, then that's when that conversation will matter. You've never heard that argument. But dudes swear the dudes are arguing that shit. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that as there that she's worse. Well, that is well, half truths is intellectually dishonest. And the thing about it, and the reason why that's important is because you can't never trust them. And you can't have a community of females you can fundamentally not trust. And when I say trust, I'm talking about trusting they're gonna do what's in their best interest, which they don't do. They do what's in their short term best interest, not long term best interest. She's not a 90. No, she's a climber. Yeah, she's a climber. She may not even be a climber. I mean, the reality is this is not even me trying. My point is no. I mean, could you imagine if Minister Jap was on that shit? Could you imagine if Minister Jap was on that shit? Minister Jap wouldn't even waste like me, and you know how Minister Jap is when he starts smirking when he about to go in. And Minister Jap has like, are you serious? Yeah, self appraisal. That's funny. I wouldn't say that Cortez. Maybe on BGS's scale, because BGS has some standards. Well, I mean, yeah, and they want to, and again, when it comes to the natural hair shit, I don't give a shit. I mean, you know, no, I wouldn't say that. No, don't say that. Payback, I think Brandy's only. If you go to Brandy's Instagram, her main problem is her waist is slightly bigger than it needs to be. If Brandy were to lose 30 pounds in the waist, she'd actually. I could see her getting a white dude. And that's how I kind of know she still fuck with niggas. I wouldn't say she. I would say she could be if she lose that waist. But like I said, like I said, man. At the end of the day, these yeah, like, and it's kind of one of those things that when these if these motherfuckers would have see what the fuck I was really working with as far as like total package, as far as economics, all that, as far as the motherfuckers I'm around and what I deal with, they would shut the fuck up. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. There's better, like if you look at that panel. I mean, are you serious, nigga? Like, this even if I take Brandy as like a baseline, and then go up from there. I mean, I can easily pull people, get people from my fucking 9 to 5. That's what makes it so fun. And I gotta say this. I gotta say this, and this may sound like I may sound like an asshole. I'm in this video after this. I've fucked better looking bitches in the call center than fucking. That's the thing that kind of really repulsed me about what Nina Simone said. I'm like, I have fucked better bitches in a call center. Like, I can go to a 500-person call center with mostly women, and I can find probably, B Simone wouldn't even be in like the top 50. Like, real fucking talk. And this is nothing but fat bitches. And if you just separate them. Anyway, y'all, I damn sure appreciate the super chats. Motherfuckers sit here and talk about, yeah, nigga, all you do is talk about women. Nigga, I made 45,000 an hour. Kiss my ass. Talk about these hoes. I will be doing the stream tomorrow, and it's because I'm gonna break that shit down because I didn't listen to it, so I'm gonna be breaking. It's gonna be fresh because see, I kind of popped off, so I didn't really. I was listening starting once the chick left. And understand something, man. When understand something, when Brandy sits there, and I hate when sisters say that shit because my first thing is, if that's how you feel, then you need to just go ahead and date white men. You notice how these chicks never talk about dating African men. You never notice how these chicks never talk about dating Caribbean men. He said, "Bro, why you hating on B Simone?" No, I'm serious. It's not me hating on B Simone. I'm not hating on B Simone. But understand, NBA fan, I get fucking sick of these chicks blaming black men when they get to their 40s and 50s, talk about what black men don't fucking do for them when they operate like B Simone in the beginning. I'm fucking tired of that. Like fucking Obsidian said, I'm fucking tired of being scapegoated. And like I said, and BGS was absolutely right about that shit. BGS said the Roger got another that the only reason why she went and she told dudes not to go to talk to her is because those are the niggas that she's getting. She's getting 9 to 5 niggas. And I can see why, because them dudes thought they had a shot because she's not all that. According to the men's sisters are having children with, the average brother has already improved past most sisters' requirements. I mean, yeah, and understand that, and that gives you insight into what their requirements are. Again, you want to talk about fucking struggle love. All relationships have value. So if you understand that, you understand, oh, these bitches are simping. They're with these niggas for other things other than money. And they may bitch about money, just like a woman may bitch about a dude making money and not having time. But at the end of the day, they're getting something in that relationship that's causing them to stay. Yeah, motherfuckers act like women don't break up with men or monkey branch to men. We know women have a whole bunch of orbiters around. So if you know that, then you understand that they're staying in that relationship for a reason. And you damn right. Most dudes don't argue about this shit. That's why I'm here. So I can do it. So I can give voice to why a lot of these niggas don't even bother. Well, I don't know. Her issue, Nancy's issue, I already know what Nancy's deal is. I already know what her deal is. And the thing about it is, and what kills me, and even though this is not fair because Africa's a large continent, but Nancy will talk all that bullshit. But what I would say is, as an African woman, even though you're probably not from the country that this happens, you got all these chicks from Uganda and other East African countries where these Asians are just leaving them out in the fucking dust looking goofy with a mixed kid. And I bet you them chicks ain't even all the way mad because at least they got a mixed baby. So let's stop bullshit. Well, I mean, hey, even if they are, well, at the end of the day, then black women need to just start hopping the fucking fence. But and here's my thing: how would black women know? Black women don't date dudes. How would you know? How the fuck would y'all know? And see, the fact that you made that statement, low key, really tells me y'all really want white men, and that's why I say, cut to the chase. Go get white men. Black men need to start pushing y'all ass, saying, "Look, I'd rather your ass be over there and you dealing with whatever bullshit that comes along with that shit." Let's cut the bullshit. And more dudes need to do that because black men are not sexually intimidated by non-black men. It's the reverse. But y'all are sexually intimidated by non-black women. And dudes need to start putting y'all in that, like boxing y'all in with that. Fuck that bullshit. So my question is, your current boyfriend is not black. So how does your current boyfriend feel about you being in black spaces? Because see, here's the thing the sisters fuck up on. The reason why a lot of non-black men don't fuck with sisters like that, because they know low key you still fucking black dick. Most of you all are not absolutely loyal to non-black dick unless you all have been culturally raised around him. I know she's trolling. They always are. They come in these spaces, talking about like dudes don't be going in there talking dudes don't be listening to Paris Milan talk about I fuck I'm fucking non-black women. We let y'all keep y'all bullshit over there. My problem. What do you mean? Well, you being black is irrelevant. This is a black male space. So how does your boyfriend feel about you as a black woman that is with him in a black space? Oh, is that what you tell him? You're black, don't worry about it. Yeah, man, why you hanging with that dude over there? Oh, I'm black, don't worry about it. I mean, it's fucking 3 o'clock. What is it, 12 where you at? That shit fucking kills me. And that's the thing. And look, I don't care, but I'm just pointing that out. Like I've seen the look. I've seen black women. It's so funny. Like when black women, it, I've seen this when I am with a non-black chick. Black women will play this like jealous game. Like they'll want a motherfucker looking at you, and I'm like, bitch. I'm like, you better worry about your dude. And y'all really out here thinking the dudes don't be noticing that. I mean, I deal. Look, here's the thing. I deal with sisters. I've dealt with sisters that jump both ways as far as that. And I invite. I'm not playing. I invite black women to date non-black men, because at the end of the day, any bitch that tries to tell me about dating non-black women when they date non-black men is on some like I can't even psychologically deal with that chick because she's already acknowledged that she's beyond bullshit. And that's the problem. And even Ramil said that about Brandy. A lot of y'all are double dipping. Again, a lot of y'all are this is like, and this like, you think I don't have conversations with non-black men as far as like, I don't let them go so far and talking shit about sisters, but real talk, they know what the deal is. This is why a lot of them ain't fucking y'all like that. Or what it is those dudes are doing what black men are doing going overseas, but they don't gotta go overseas. They just gotta get a black chick. They want to get sexual access. They just go get a black chick. And a lot of these dudes are not willing to do that. But you're not bothering me by saying that. And that's another thing too that was said on that stream too. When women keep talking about they don't care about who a man dates, they're lying. Because at that point, why the fuck are you even talking about colorism? Why are you talking about what black men don't do? Because you shouldn't matter. Well, no, I'm not gonna call it a zaddy and all of that. I don't give a shit. Cause dude could be Hispanic. I don't care about that. I really don't. But at the same time, black women will believe that the reason why they hop is valid, but the reason why we hop is not. Because contrary to popular belief, non-black men do not like black women double dipping like that. So that kind of gives me an indication. Either you're dealing with an urban non-black dude, or you're dealing with a dude that's no value. You dealing with John B type, and there's not a lot of John B types out there. It's not. It's not. So I mean, but see, most dudes. See, that's the thing. Most dudes peep game. This is why motherfuckers is doing the pump and dump. See, what a lot of women don't understand is the pump and dump is not about the pump and dump is like a tryout, and then you just cut, 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 cut. And real talk, dudes are not necessarily pumping and dumping chicks. They keep chicks around. It depends, man. It is what it is. So you see, there's another wall sisters run into when they date. Well, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I always love them to find that out. My thing is, and I'm not even telling them to date non-black because I wish ill will. I just want them to shut the fuck up, and I want them to stop blaming black men for why they don't date out. Like I'm tired of them trying to use the community. I've told my cousins, if my cousins have tried to bring some shit up, I say you need to go. How could you say that? What the fuck you mean? How can I say that? The fuck am I supposed to say? What you think I'm supposed to sit here and be annoyed by what the fuck you saying? You asking me a problem, I'm gonna give you the quickest solution. If your black men ain't shit, then fuck, date a Brad. If you can, cause then maybe it's water sinking its own level. That's not what it is. Then fucking go get a Hispanic. Get the fuck away from me with that bullshit. I'm not even arguing that shit. You know how to solve the fucking problem. Cause I can't change these niggas. Anyway, y'all. That being said, I appreciate the super chats, Roger report, all of y'all, man. I definitely appreciate that. That being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.